Right, let's get started. We have a lot to share with you today, guys. It's been an incredibly eventful week. Once again, it felt like 1 week was 1 month or perhaps even a year in our space. The metaverse, the crypto space, it's going incredibly fast and there is a lot happening on our side. So today, to discuss the important things that we discussed, or I'm still trying to keep it a secret, but obviously we already announced it. We are postponing our TGE, and to discuss that today, I have a very, very special guest with us, our very own CEO, Alex van der Baan. Alex, are you there?
Of course I am, Aragorn. Great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, definitely, and great to be able to have this chat today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Alex, it's quite the week. Sound?
Yeah,
oh no, sound.
Definitely.
Alex is off. Somebody says on Telegram. Let's see.
Then we'll have to wait on Telegram.
Ah, yeah, I see what's going on. I will fix it right away. And go.
Let's see if it's working. Hello, Telegram. I hope you guys can hear me now.
Perfect. Okay, here we go.
Awesome. So hi again, guys. Good to be here. Definitely, it's been a crazy week. I think besides everything that's happened with us here at Europa Metaverse, I think it's safe to say that the whole team here has been also, we're looking what's happening in the world. So I think we want to express all our thoughts and prayer to all the people handling the situation in Ukraine. So I think that's also quite important to say, particularly because we have quite some staff there as well. So I think let's get that out of the way, and then we can actually start with the show that Aragorn and Stephanie prepared for us today.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I'm actually super happy that you brought that up because, well, you said everything there is to say, so there's nothing for me to add. We have some developers on our team from the Ukraine, and they're going through quite a hard time. We want them and everybody else out there to know that, we are with you in our thoughts, and we do everything we can to support the people in our direct surrounding.
And I think also. And I think also good to note, we have a lot of friends as well from the Russian Federation. I think that most of the friends that I speak, nobody's looking for this, but I think it's important to note this point from the beginning, because whatever we're doing here in the metaverse obviously is dwarfed by everything we're seeing happening in the world today. But of course, still, there is we're running this business. There's so much stuff going on, and we had this discussion: should we continue? And our team decided yes. So yeah, let's go. And I'm really interested to hear from the community, from you guys, what you think about the announcement that we did. So I'm giving it back to you, Aragorn.
Thanks, Alex. Cool. So before we go into the interview, there's a few things on the agenda today. So let's quickly go over those. First of all, of course, we did the TGE postponement announcement this week. We will be discussing that, me and Alex. And obviously, we are looking for the community to ask all of their questions. So we can do our best to answer all of those. Secondly, we have an amazing partnership to announce, which we will do straight after the TGE conversation. Of course, we're going to show you guys some footage of what we've been doing internally, some footage of the team at work. And obviously, today was the final day for the meme contest, and we received a lot of amazing memes. So we will be announcing the winners of the meme contest today. Cool.
Very excited.
Yeah. So having the agenda out of the way, let's dive right into it. Alex, people out there, they've been waiting for this TGE. And we promised them TGE last year. We promised them TGE Q1, and now we postpone it again. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I think the most important thing what happened is when we started basically seeing all this traction happening in October and November. we were still planning and having a roadmap based on, what we've been doing over the last 2 years. And perhaps you guys remember from the previous AMAs, our team was a lot smaller. Basically, it was the founding team, and we had a number of really cool people helping us. One of them was you, Aragorn. And then throughout October, November, and January, there were so many different things happening. And basically what we saw and what we concluded with the team is that the initial planning and scheduling that we had to sort of throw everything off the table because we had to do it bigger. We had to be more ambitious.
More ambitious.
We had to be more ambitious. I think this is a discussion. Obviously, people are, particularly in the community, are well aware of our tokenomics. So we managed to raise a really wonderful amount of a little bit more than $3 million, which is a lot of money.
Yep. Well, it sounds like a lot of money.
Definitely, and it is. And obviously, we're working here, and we're trying to see how can we make the biggest bang for the buck. And initially, our plan was to have a roadmap that would actually bring us for, let's say, 2 years with that amount of investment.
Yeah.
But what we realized, and also with a lot of the conversations with all the investors, but also with a lot of the brands that we've been connecting up with, is that we had to do it faster. So we basically made the decision, we are going to ramp everything up, which means that the level of the product, the level of the way that we set everything up legally was also basically changing. And I think one of the most important things that we decided was the geography, because we initially started off thinking we're going to launch here in the Netherlands. Yeah. Then a lot
I remember
of
that because we were still talking about that when I joined in October.
Yep. Exactly. And and then we were advised by many people from the crypto scene, this is going to be too difficult, European legislation, whatnot. Yep. So we were looking at all sorts of options and opportunities. We've been, looking into Dubai. We've been looking at Switzerland, so many different options. And eventually, after basically 3 different memos and advices that we had from various crypto law agencies, we said, okay, basically, if we really want to make and we want to grow this company, we want to do that from the Netherlands because our core team is going to be here. We also have to incorporate everything here. Yeah. And that's basically what we've been trying to figure out throughout February, with the deadline basically end of February for us, because that was the go, no go date for us since we've been saying Q1. Yeah. And then, we said, okay, we're engaging with the Dutch National Bank, the regulator here. It's going to cost a lot of time. So there's basically no other choice than to, on the legal side, than to postpone. Yeah. And I think the second other quite important point is the gap between launch and actual utility. Perhaps you can remember.
Before you go into that, Alex, sorry for interrupting you, but I would like to emphasize that for me, of course, I joined the company in October, November, and I want everybody out there to know that, the conversation about, going abroad, launching outside of outside of Europe, or launching in the Netherlands has been going on since the day I joined, and the management team always wanted to do everything in the Netherlands as much as possible because we're Dutch. The company's here. We don't, we want to stay away from anything that even smells like being shady. That's also why we're always doing video AMAs. That's why we're showing our faces. That's why we're all on the website. We want to be personally accountable for making this a success, right? In every way, we want to do it right. And so even when the conversation was going on, should we go abroad? And this is something I want to emphasize as one of the first employees. It was only because we thought that it was an absolute necessity and there was no way around it. So I'd like to add that the decision as it's been made now by the management was also because we finally, with all the input that we got from all the different legal teams, etc., advisors, investors, we realized that, we could do it in the Netherlands, even though it was going to be hard, right, Alex?
Exactly. I think, for us, what we're seeing today is that there's a lot of, in the more traditional businesses, but also with traditional brands, the moment that you start talking about DLT technology or blockchain technology, people will start to shy away. Everything, it's money laundering. You're trying to hide something, and it's not the case. What I'm trying to explain them, even though I'm always referred to as the boomer of the company,
Legacy Alex.
Legacy Alex, is that this whole Web3, just call it Web3, even if you're a little bit scared for the phrase crypto or DLT or blockchain, whatever. This is going to be the next step, and of course, it also brings in the possibility, the wonderful possibility that we had as a project to acquire funding, while nobody. We talked to so many different companies, so many different banks, and everybody was kicking us out.
Yep.
And so it really offers an amazing opportunity for, let's say, also the whole startup community here in the Netherlands. Basically, the office where we're here today is an incubator office. There's loads of startups here. And personally, I felt it would be really strange if we were going out here talking to all the various companies, talking about the metaverse, talking about how you can build a blockchain company, and then put your actual company somewhere on a tropical island, and not actually trying to do it here, because we also have to start talking to people into legislation, people into politics. That this is, of course, we see scams happening, but then again, here in the Netherlands, we have 4 major banks, and I think 3 major banks got really huge fines for exactly that, for amazing scams. And I think if it also happened in the United States. So, yes, things happen in the DLT, in the blockchain space, but perhaps even worse things have been happening in the traditional finance space. So we have to show ourselves, and we have to show that there is an actual use case for projects like YOM and like others in this space.
Alex, you just referred to, the big fines with the banks in the Netherlands. And for those of you that are Dutch out there, you might have heard on the CryptoCast recently how Rabobank, for example, freezes any accounts that have to do with crypto for their business customers, and they want to fix that, but they can't. Can you tell the chat, can you tell the community out there a little bit about what kind of challenges that we're trying to tackle in order to be able to launch our token in the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think there are a lot. I think on the regulatory side, just to give you an example, if we started our engagement with the bank, the Dutch regulator here, if we would pursue to push our token out before that whole procedure was finalized, the fine that we could have gotten was, I think, up to 3.5-4 million, depending on all these other fees as well. So these are huge. Fines, obviously, you can get. The strange thing is that a lot of huge exchanges aren't even regulated here in the Netherlands. And of course, in 2-3 years, there's going to be the MiCA regulation, the MiCA directive. So, and it was also one of the, I think, important reasons for us. The fact that if we would do everything right now from the beginning, it really gives us a really unique runway into the MiCA directive, which basically means that once we go over, we take the pain today, but it does really offer us the opportunity that when we're 2 years into the future, that we have the full EU market available to us.
I was going to say, you're beating me to it here, Alex, because my next question is, we were kind of surprised, we'll be honest. I mean, we expected a lot more pushback from our community when we did the announcement this week, but generally the reactions were very positive. We got a lot of support from the community, of course, but there were also people that said, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't know why you guys are doing this. It's not nice. It's not a postponement. So I was wondering, can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of this postponement? How will this help the project? How will this help YOM? How will this work out positively for the community?
Well, I think all that boring stuff that I just mentioned to you, all the know your customer, the KYC procedures that we've been going through, that I've met with my legal team. I can imagine that people from the community are like, well, I hear what you're saying, but a lot of other projects are doing that as well. I think the other important part was the vision that we had is, okay, we're going to launch in Q1. And then probably around Q3, Q4, we're going to have the proper use case of our platform available to everybody. And in between, we're going to launch our projects the way that we do right now, manually. And we always felt that by doing that manually, we could actually still showcase various projects to the community, to other brands. And every time that we would launch one of those projects, those brand campaigns, activation campaigns, every time we would actually be able to, hold and maintain that hype. Yeah. From the moment that we've been talking to, bigger parties, bigger exchanges, people have been telling us the gap that you guys have potentially between launching in Q1 and potentially having a 6 to 7 month gap where the only utility is basically, you have your token listed and there's not so many points of utility available. The only thing that we can offer, obviously, is the potential. By launching these customer projects, by launching stuff that we do with brands, with charities, whatever, would actually garner primarily the hype, but the use case and the utility perhaps lacks. Yep. And I think particularly, because we've been making a lot of strides on our marketplace, we've been going a lot faster in our roadmap, and a lot more stuff is being delivered. So we felt, okay, that's another major advantage that we have, all the legal stuff and the regulatory stuff ticked in a number of months. And also that we can actually have the gap between the utility for community, for our customers, as narrow as possible. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for the answer, Alex. I see that there's already one of our regulars, the Seedman, is in Telegram, and he's already asking some really nice and juicy questions, or should I say, I can feel him nipping at my butt. So I'll put the question to you, Alex, and then you can go ahead and answer it. So Seedman's question is, how come that you thought a launch in December 2021 was possible? Because now it's the second time you're postponing. Will there be a third time? So actually, there's two questions in there. So the first question is, why do we think we could even launch in December last year? And then the second question is, will we be postponing again? So let's start with the first one.
I think the question probably would be is that where did we publicly, I think we never publicly said that we aimed at December. Of course, we've had many discussions with investors, with people close to our project, saying that at some point this has been a discussion internally. But looking at the way that we communicated, we've been also in our tokenomics, we've always stated Q1 2022. And I think the question why, let's say, depending on the communication, the rationale behind the internal rationale behind December at the time was coming still from our whole planning that started in July up until September. So I think the whole scope and everything that we wanted to deliver was a lot smaller. Yeah.
If I can quickly jump in there to add to that. Seedman, I think something that we need to be honest about here, and probably won't surprise you. I mean, none of us have ever done this before, right? We were a Metaverse company first, and we're still a Metaverse company first. But we realized as we went over the last few years, especially last year, that the Metaverse would need a blockchain for it to work the way we envision it, right? For it to be decentralized, to have all the potential for the business applications, for being safe on privacy, making sure that you can, have that kind of super profile thing and a lot of other cool stuff. And so it was, as we say, voortschrijdend inzicht in Dutch. As we went forward, we realized, everything that had to be done. And then when we finally got that boost in funding in October, when everything really went, certainly mainstream regarding the metaverse, we had to adjust our ambition. And I think that's also what Alex is trying to say. From that, reevaluation of our ambition and what we truly had to do, and from the lessons learned regarding what it takes to launch a token like this, we ultimately had to come to the conclusion that we had to move forward. Right, Alex?
Exactly. I think, if we would have gone, let's say, if we would have gone the route that many, some of our advisors said, you just launch your token in the British Virgin Island. You set a structure with a foundation in Singapore. Yeah, then we could have launched perhaps already even in December. The question exactly is, how would we be able to manage that gap between launching the token and the utility? Because we've always been talking about utility, also with the brands and the customers that we're talking about right now. Yeah. If we're talking about, for instance, the NFTs, we're not doing NFTs with frogs, monkeys, whatever. We're structuring these NFTs as an actual business tool that bridges metaverse marketing, metaverse branding, and something we can actually do in the real life that actually consumers or fans or community members can see and understand, that I can explain to my grandmother.
Which, by the way, guys, for everybody watching and listening now, he actually does that. He actually made a video just like a month ago for his grandmother, because she's one of the investors, I think, or at least his family is. And he explained everything, right? So this is also something I want you guys to know, right? We're very invested in this, and we're really trying to make this accessible and understandable for everybody, not just, your crypto natives and your metaverse people out there. Sorry, Alex, for interrupting. Go on.
Sure. I think perhaps, and this is also perhaps a lead towards our partnership announcement, but I think the guys that are looking at our tokenomics, perhaps a little bit more technical, they know that we in our total supply, we're going to have 300 million tokens, and we have 3 rounds right now: a seed or a strategic round, a private round, and then there's going to be obviously the public round that we're doing with Solanium. Altogether, these tokens are 90 million tokens, 30% of the total supply. So one of the things that you're seeing happening in the market is that, let's say your cash flow run rate gets dry, then most of the time projects tend to just take another chunk of tokens and sell that off. That's still a possibility. But what we are trying to do, and what we're structuring right now, is doing a Series A funding.
Okay, hold on. I know you're eager to go into this, but there's a few questions from the community, and this is an Ask Us Anything, so we need to also try and answer those before we go to the next topic. So everybody, stay on the type of your seat. We're gonna do another cool announcement very soon. But okay, so first the questions, let's quickly go over them. Seedman, I'll get back to you because you already had a question, so I'll take Bjorn's question first and then come back to you. Okay, so Bjorn asks, launch will still be on Solanium?
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we don't even have to go into that too long. Okay, so back to Seedman, who is always asking the good questions. So he said, will product launch be on TGE now? So in other words, and will there be any insights in the roadmap going forward? I think you got to answer this one, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. So perhaps one of the questions, obviously, when we pushed our announcement yesterday, I think his name was James. He asked that question. Okay, Alex, when TGE now? Probably not with that accent, but and what we discussed is that we're not going to communicate a specific date But what we are going to do is we're going to prepare a dashboard, a live dashboard on our website with a lot of metrics, explaining how are we on the legal front, how are we on the, let's say, marketplace front. So we're going to be completely transparent with everything that's happening in here. And if all these metrics reach 100%, basically what appears is for me, what I always call it internally, the big virtual red button that we can press so that we can launch. And this is something that I love to share with the whole community. So basically, starting this Tuesday, we have our TGE roadmap internal discussion with the whole team when we're deciding the amount of structure and the amount of detail on the main metrics and how we're going to set everything up, ranging from agency, from the dev team, myself with legal and regulatory stuff. And we're going to make sure that we're going to update that every week.
I'm super psyched for that from a marketing perspective, guys, because the first thing, so we're gonna get like something on the website like the metaverse loading 30%, something like that. I don't know, right? So you guys can live follow how we're loading up the metaverse, and then if you click on it or something like that, you'll be able to see all the metrics, right, that we're paying attention to, that we think you guys need to know about, that are basically hurdles or obstacles that we need to overcome to launch the metaverse. So
and when the page is loading, I told Aragorn I want to have this for the guys and girls a little bit older, a 65K modem, wonderful 65K modem sound. Squeaking. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta make me a sample of that. That's gonna be funny.
And something else I told Aragorn yesterday that he wasn't so happy about, because we said, okay, obviously there was a lot of hype and a lot of excitement going on towards the launch, but I said, okay, obviously we're still pushing ahead with everything that we had. So I said, okay, Aragorn and myself, we stopped drinking on the 31st of December. So I said, okay, now 1st of April was going to be Liberation Day, and we get to have beer again. But I said, no, we have to extend it up until TGE. So now there's an additional incentive for us to make sure that we get this done as quickly as possible. Because Aragorn and also myself we're big, beer fans here. Yeah. So I'm really on the fence on this one still, because I think not drinking alcohol until TG is definitely going to be healthy. But I really want to have a beer as well. So I think this creates the right kind of tension for us to get some result. Cool. So one more question from Seedman, and then we'll carry on. He said, are there already brands or artists building on your open metaverse? So I'll take this, and then you can add to that, Alex, if you're okay with that. So the answer is yes. I think I'll leave that one to Alex. We already have one artist that is ready to go and signed on. I think you can talk about it. I'll leave that decision to you. And because we're moving TGE, one of the things that we're really focused on now is that ultimately the successful platform, it as we say in Dutch, stands or falls with the success of bringing on a community. So what we're doing now is we're trying to find the right brands out there, big brands, but that have the right kind of mindset and the right values that fit with us for the future of our community, that will bring their brand to our platform, and then with that bring their community, right? So if you have a really big brand, we're talking to somebody who has like 15 million followers. If we can bring them on board, they can bring their 15 million followers, and they will, even if only 1% of that starts to use your open metaverse for that experience, we already get 1 million users. So that's definitely something that we're focused on. Hey, Gerard, by the way, beer. Oh, I would love some beer. Okay, Alex, perhaps you want to talk about artists that we onboarded. Yeah. I cannot. What we're going to do, I think. No, I'm not going to disclose anything on that, because that would, I think, we basically need to sort of schedule a whole,
I tried.
A proper AMA for that. But particularly on the artist front, yes. We are talking to, we're saying right now we're focusing on sports, media, and entertainment. The reason for that is that, these specific cohorts or these specific target groups, they understand what we're doing in the metaverse a lot better than, let's say, normal B2B companies. I've spent most of 2021, I think I did 100 demos at a variety of different companies, from construction companies to, let's say, wine distributors, and everybody was like, "Oh, I'm so inspired, it's amazing, Alex." but nobody actually could or wanted to take the next level to either invest in it, to carve out some budget. And what we're seeing with sports media and entertainment, that these are the type of groups, or target groups, that are used to spending money in marketing, and that are actually, they want to be innovative, and they don't mind playing around with their brand or their personal brand. Yep. So we're quite in the far stage with a Dutch sports team. I think we're on the verge of being able to communicate with you guys a really cool artist, and there are 2 projects running right now that Aragorn and myself are working, that we can probably launch over the next 4 to 6 months. And it's good for you guys to know that when we're talking with brands, because everybody wants to do something with the metaverse, but what we're trying to do is saying, okay, you need to be able to have a, let's say, a proper serious budget, because what we want to do, it needs to make an impact. We don't want to, let's say, copy an H&M store and say, hey, we have a metaverse store. No, it needs to have proper utility, and it needs to show the full potential of what you can do with the metaverse.
Yeah, I think that's an important one. I'm so happy you bring that up, Alex. We're talking to a lot of people right now, bringing in more people. But the thing that has, and this is, I don't want to offend anybody, but the thing that really has been disappointing for me is that a lot of these brands, these people that we talk to, they come in and they basically want to recreate the real world. And the metaverse has so much more potential than that. So we're really looking for, and I think you already said it really nicely, Alex, we're looking for trailblazers like ourselves, people that want to push it, want to find the next frontier. By the way, I'm going to do something crazy right now that was unprepared, but I know that the Dutch ice skater Susanne Schulting is actually very active on TikTok. So I'm asking you, community, hook us up with her so that we can build her metaverse.
Aragorn is in love.
That would be awesome.
Aragorn is in love.
No. She's a great athlete. Okay, cool. Enough on this. We got some great questions. I really like that. Good answers as well so far. Let's see. Did we miss anything? No, I think we're good to go. So then onwards, the next announcement. This one's for you, Alex.
Yeah. So you cut me off.
Sorry.
No. That was good. You postponed me a little bit. When I was trying
I can
to
only
talk
slow him down, people. I can only slow him down, and barely.
When we were talking about the token supply, obviously the 30% that we're selling in this round, or that we have sold primarily already, and the additional 70%, and how we look at future funding, because as we mentioned, with the ambition, with the amount of people that we're onboarding right now, we're not having a 2-year runway. We have probably barely a 1-year runway with the funding that we attracted. So obviously it's my job and responsibility to look ahead of that.
And this is why I said that 3 million sounds like a lot, but it's not, because if you look at the burn rate, oh my God. But go on.
Yeah. So that was also for us. It was quite important that looking at the early stage token holders, the investors, that we also valued the long term investors, but we also carved out let's say specific private allocations that could actually have a longer engagement. Just to give you a bit of a background, usually in this space, particularly last year, when there was an amazing, bull market going on, it was relatively easy, not just for us, but I think for a lot of crypto projects, to get funding in. And usually these cycles would be sometimes even a week from discussions, setting up all the paperwork, and getting funded. This is definitely not the experience that we had, dealing with traditional finance institutions. So, but we said, because we wanted to have this as a solid company, we also wanted to have more strategic, long-term financial partners as well. So this is the reason why we had this allocation, this specific allocations that could have longer engagement. And I'm really happy to announce that 2 weeks ago, we secured CVVC as one of our partners and investors. And CVVC, some of you might know, is a really big player. They're based in they're based in Germany. They're based in Switzerland. They're listed on the German Stock Exchange, also under the BaFin regulation. So this is really helpful for us. Also, because our future funding, the way that I see it, the way that our team sees it, is not so much in selling more tokens, because we want to keep the secondary market for our community strong. So the next round would be a Series A round, an equity round, where we can actually raise, hopefully a lot more money that can actually push us through the next phase.
Yeah. Awesome news. So CVC, guys. I was really blown away by that. So, but when I first heard about it, I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sure about who VVC was. So, considering the fact that I wasn't, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about them.
Yeah, sure. So, obviously, when you're looking at the let's say the crypto VC funding market, I think there's a lot of activity in the UK. There's also a lot of activity obviously in Switzerland and in Germany, and I think this is this is basically the exact tranche that we got. We were actually introduced with them. We had a lot of conversation with their analyst and investment team. And the nice thing about them is that they not just invest, they also have a CV Labs, which is an incubator that helped us also with our network in UAE, in Dubai. They also have a incubator in Cape Town in South Africa. Obviously, in the Crypto Valley in Zug, which is also a huge powerhouse in the EU when it comes to crypto companies. So it really opens up for us, a lot of potential. Not only in next stage investment for us that we're looking end of this year, beginning of next year, but also really cool companies throughout Europe that are also working in parts or perhaps also already in the Metaverse space.
Yep. Cool. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you think the partnership will bring us, Alex? Because
yeah, definitely. So over the next I think month and a half, we are also going to visit. We're going to do a roadshow in Germany and in Switzerland. So we're meeting, a lot of the community members, also the portfolio members there, but also actually engaging with. In this case, the team at CVVC, to see how we can structure our company even better. Also, when it comes to our development roadmap, marketing, communicating with you guys, they have a lot of experience, and I think I'm really excited about partnering up with them, learning a lot more, to see how we can actually make the best of the upcoming periods to grow the company even faster.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward, at least from my point of view as well. I really look forward because they have so much, like I said before, right? When Seedman asked, you guys postponed and are you going to do this again? And then I said, well, look, this is the first time for us doing a project like this. And obviously we have a lot of great investors already, and they've been helping us along. I mean, for example, a big shout out to the Block Race boys who've really helped me up my marketing game. They really deserve a shout out because they've been doing a great job. Also, by the way, Luca Caligari from Brotherhood has also been helping us out. So special shout out to you. But CVVC is another one of these partners or investors they bring so much experience to the table because they work with so many startups in this space, and that's really going to benefit us. So that's really made me very, very happy. Alex, I don't know, man, but for some people, I don't know if everybody is as literate in investment and all the possibilities regarding investment as you obviously are, and I'm slowly becoming, even though I'm the chief marketing. So could you perhaps explain a little bit about the difference between raising crypto investment and, you know, doing a Series A? Because you already referred to the Series A end of this year, which is going to be massive for us. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So companies, obviously we are, we are a limited company in Dutch called Besloten Vennootschap, BV. That's what we have here in the Netherlands right now. You know, all the people working for us are, working through that company. And obviously there are shareholders of that company. Obviously when we create tokens, the whole discussion about where do you launch the token, under what company, under what jurisdiction, is basically tied to the company. But you can perhaps refer to software. You have a lot of people working on a software package. The code is being done, and then you can actually push the package out. And you could say the same about the token. So it's an asset of the company, but it's not 100% related to equity or shares. It's part of the inventory. But the token holders are not per se the owners of the company. When you're talking about a more traditional funding, which is done through, let's say, issuing shares, then more shares are created. And you can imagine if everybody has, let's say, 10% shares and you create 2 times as much shares, then the current shareholders have less shares. You sell off part of the company. And that's basically what's happening if you're doing an equity raise, what's done in a Series A. So usually in more traditional startup funding, you have seed capital, which is really, really early. Then there's a Series A, then usually Series B and C, and then perhaps eventually you can actually do an initial public offering, and then you can actually be stock listed. So that's basically the difference. And also what it means is that if you're doing an equity deal, a share deal, the amount of scrutiny that investors have in the company, in the bookkeeping, in all the nitty-gritty details is a lot more stringent than, for instance, when you are doing a token private sale. One of the reasons for us why we wanted to do everything we're doing right now the way that we do it.
Yeah. So I see a question from Seedman that was bound to come. So Seedman says, so will YOM be a listed company? But before you answer that one, Alex, I'd like to crank up the wrenches a little bit. I know another little company that's a listed company across the pond, and they had quite a big social network, and they really didn't. They're not very popular right now. So how are we going to make sure that that something like that doesn't happen to us? And how does that relate to our open metaverse? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think obviously getting funded, making sure there's enough cash flow, making sure that you get to pay all the bills is not something obviously super related to this whole building stuff. So that's why I'm super happy with Aragorn and the whole marketing team, with Jorrit and Daniel, pushing our vision out, so that I get to do a little bit more of the boring stuff. But it's quite important. You need to have this funding done, because obviously without the proper funding, we cannot execute on our vision and our mission. So let's to your question. Are we going to be a public company? I'm not sure. It's not a necessity to do so. Obviously, if we do, if the amount of investments that we have over the next few years gets caught up with the revenue streams that we're having from projects, then the amount of runway that we have is going to increase. Right now, almost everything, that we're of the funds invested, obviously are being put into the team, put into the office, making sure that we can do what it is we're doing today. So I honestly don't know. And I also know, not so much related to this, but you hear a lot of stories about companies going through an IPO process where the original founder was like, everything in the rat race about publishing quarterly figures is giving so much stress that it really puts away you from the day-to-day business. So I wouldn't know, but I think that's really years and years off. I think we need to, and that's also the topic of today, let us focus right now on a good and successful TGE. And this is a bit more background for you guys to understand what our vision is on this, funding and finance and cash flow part.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I can add to that, because I know that was a horrible question to ask you, but I think I'm just going to say it again. I've said it before. I keep coming up with these kind of catchphrases. That's my job as a chief marketing, but we're a Metaverse first company, right? Metaverse is what we're building. And for those of you out there, you need to understand that, nothing can be built without some kind of investment. That's just not how this world works. So we basically got our seed funding through our tokens in some sense, but even that we haven't really, received yet. And we're struggling with, because even the money that we have in crypto is tied up because of legislation, right? So right now it's really, sometimes I think it's a miracle that we managing to make things work. So somebody's putting a GIF in chat to here, take my money. But I think it's important to realize that we're trying to do things right, but we're also trying to be realistic. So we're bringing in money right now in every way we can to make this dream come true for everybody. But down the line, it's important to realize that the platform and us as a company are not always necessarily the same thing, right? So we're building an open metaverse, but to do that, we also need to build our brand and our agency, which is what we do. The agency is the part of our company where we build meta experiences for brands. And that will be also, of course, our main source of revenue in the future, so that we can keep working together with you guys, with the community, with the artists, with the brands on the platform, in building an ever-increasing, exciting metaverse, right? So you can see it like a city, right? Right now, there's just a few buildings gone up, but, a few years from now, hopefully we'll have massive skyscrapers and whole neighborhoods and people hanging out together, and it's going to be super exciting. So
exactly.
All right, cool. Okay, so that was that was the two big announcements. TGE's been postponed. We discussed that. We're bringing on board CVVC, or we already have brought on board CVC. Super proud of that. I got a massive quote from Lucas. Wait, I have it here somewhere. Lucas Etter, partner and head of investments at CVVC. So let's see if I can get this in the screen somehow. Oh, and
you're just gonna have to do your best Lucas impression then, and just read out loud what he said. We're obviously going to do an article next week on the partnership anyway, so everybody can read up on it there. Okay,
well then I'll read it because it was a little late to come in, but I'm gonna do my best Lucas Etter impression. We invested in BeamUp given the massive potential in the metaverse space and the confluence of real world and digital worlds we currently see. Further, we are in a transition from Web 2 to Web 3. This is the next step from solely sharing information to transferring digital goods and valuables, which is an essential aspect of the metaverse. Among other, some of the most convincing aspects of BeamUp, which is us, were the great progress and traction, the strong team, as well as the vision and the long-term potential of your open metaverse. Lucas Etter, partner and head of investments at CVC. So thank you so much for that massive compliment, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas. Yeah. So yeah, I think how are we on time?
We're good on
Once
time.
again.
We
we're
have
good
to,
on time. Good.
Yeah, we're gonna transition into a little update on what we've been doing behind the scenes, and then we're gonna announce the winners of the meme contest. So yeah, Alex, thank you for coming to the AMA.
Thank you.
You can stick with us in the background if you want. If people have more questions at the end, they're happy to ask them. But for now, I'm just gonna quickly take over and do a little update if that's okay with you.
Perfect. I'll stick around. Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Turn it off like this, stuff like that. So,
Those of you watching,
Sure.
and I'm not sure if people on Telegram can actually hear
copyright
the
on a
noise,
building?
or the sound, but
There
this is
isn't.
actually
So,
some recordings
of course
of
you are, and I mean
our
it's a building
environmental
style.
artist
It's
Arthur
an architectural
working
style
on some
building.
of the tech demos environments that we're building right now. So as you can see, this is quite a cool space he's been working on. Or is this Rob already? Oh wait, okay, so this is already Rob. So the first one was Arthur, and the second one is Rob. Rob is our game designer and the level designer. And he's really doing a lot of great stuff in terms of building the kind of how do I say this correctly, because I'm not a designer, but the technical aspects of the game, make sure that all the physics work, that we have proper particles.
We don't have any water effects yet.
Yeah, I said game because it feels like game development. It is very much like game development, but of course
we can even have flying meetups.
So one of the things that we're working on right now is that, of course, we're building on these incredible environments.
Now
and
we
we're
have
already working
flying
to bring in
books.
meta-humans as avatars, all of that cool stuff. But ultimately, these environments also need to be a showcase of the business applications that you could that you could have in the metaverse. So that's another thing that we'll work on. So I'll let it roll one more time. Here we see Arthur again. He's working on the environment called Maximus. That's our internal code name for now. It's very cool. He's done everything by hand. For those of you, if you ever get to see it, we actually got the YOM temple in there, the open metaverse temple for worship. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, see, man, I know you guys need more of this, so that's why we're already working on this. We had a while we're watching this video, there's another cool thing I can tell you guys. Yesterday, the whole day, we had a film crew. Well, not a real film crew. It was like one guy, Paul Brown, but he's quite a nice influencer from the UK, and he was in the office to record all day video footage of the team, of what we're doing, interview our people, talk about our mission and our vision, and our expectations of the future. So that means that we'll be pushing out a lot of cool content, video content, to help you guys better understand what we're doing, what we're working on, why it's taking so much time.
Now we have flying
TGE. So all of that stuff will become more clear with a lot of cool content as well to keep you updated.
Yeah, so something.
Right. So that was the video of Rob and Arthur, what they're doing. So now on to the meme contest. So I have this little script here, which is really amazing because it tells me what I have to talk about and what I have to tell you guys. And it says meme contest, show 4 winning memes. But I don't know where. I don't know where my team prepared the winning memes. Where are they? Stephanie, help, help. 12 and a half seconds. Oh, okay, wait, I got it. I got instructions here. Okay, so I get the names of the winning memes, and I got some Twitter feed stuff. Check Discord. Oh my God, everybody's sending me stuff everywhere. No, yeah, Melo, so I know that. Okay, so I get the winners here. So I'll start by, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll start by announcing the winners, and then when I've done that, I'll quickly set it up so that we can actually show the memes from the winners. Because that obviously is going to be quite important. So we're going to add this. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to add this. And then we do... Oh, no. Window cap. What we need. Add a window capture. This. Okay, so the winners are... Sorry, thank you for bearing with me, guys. The winners are... Oh, how am I going to read this? Whoa. Okay, so I'm going to try and read this. This is kind of hard, not going to lie. At EcoSuge640829111. So that's one of the winners. Congratulations, EcoSego. The second winner is... Actually, wait. Maybe I should show that tweet first quickly. Or no, I'll do that afterwards. The second winner is Stipikowski. 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 Congratulations. And then the third winner is, and if my team hadn't checked this and I hadn't known any better, I would have been convinced that this was either a hacker or a bot. But the third winner is 72S6KGDIKQI19JHF. I really hope that you have a real name, because if my friends had to call me by that name, you know, that really wouldn't work. But congratulations, 72. And then the fourth winner is Am Your Partner. Well, thank you for being my partner. I really appreciate that, Am Your Partner. So let's see. The winning memes are... Can I get this on the screen? Because, of course, that would be the coolest. Yes, here we go. So the first winning meme is this one. That was the first one. I think I showed that one before, but I really love it. The second one is this one.
Give it back now.
Oh! Can we get one full screen? Ooh, let's go back. Oh my God!
Back.
No!
I said give it back now. Noah.
Larry, what the hell are you doing? Larry!
Larry, you can't just.
Larry! Oh,
Okay, I hadn't seen this one yet. Oh my God! I'm not sure we should be showing this online. Oh wow!
Back.
No!
I said give it back now.
Wow, crazy. Okay, it's funny though. It's funny. I'm gonna admit it's very funny. Okay, I'll show one more. This is actually okay. So no, the other I'm not gonna show anymore because the other ones are just pictures. You can find them all. So if you want to go through all the memes, which obviously you do. Oh wait, let's go back to me. So if you want to see all the memes, obviously you want to see all the amazing memes, because I didn't say this yet, but we actually had 52 memes submitted by a total of 29 meme lords. So thank you, meme lords out there. Thank you for all of your submissions. Because, by the way, for those of you that are not good at math, we had 52 memes and 29 meme lords. So that means that several meme lords actually send in more than one meme to compete. I really love the memes. Thank you so much for those. Congratulations again for Eiku Suge, Stipikowski, and 72, and Am Your Partner for being the top 4. We have some other. I think there was some other prizes or and special notices. So all of that, all the results from the meme contest will be available on our Discord, which is also where you can go to see all the amazing memes. So if you haven't done this yet, make sure that you go over to the Your Open Metaverse Discord, which you can go to if you go to our website, yom.community. Join the channel, go and have a look at the meme contest, and make sure to be on the lookout for the next competition or event that we're going to be doing. So there's that. Let's see, what else? I'm quickly going to run through, because it's 4:59. I'm going to quickly run through the agenda for this week for Your Open Metaverse. There's a couple of things that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. Firstly, our next Metaverse exploring session on Wednesday night For this one, our very own Mr. Fox, Daniel, our founder, Daniel van der Waals, has invited Inderpool, the co-founder of Pixelinks, who's going to do a keynote. So Pixelinks is a music metaverse where they will combine the physical and digital music ecosystem. So it's going to be very cool, very, very exciting. Another amazing use of the metaverse. So if you're interested in that, make sure to join, because Mr. Inderpool is going to share his vision for the metaverse and the place of music in it. What else? Let's see. We're working on some new campaigns. So that's one. I'm not going to tell you guys what yet. Oh yeah, one more thing. We actually, at Your Open Metaverse, we decided that we needed more developers. So we were looking for React developers in the Netherlands. We're also looking for Unreal Engine developers. We're still looking for copywriter and an art director. Not an art director, a video editor for the marketing team. But when we sent out the job openings this week, we thought that we were going to have a massively hard time finding developers. But what actually happened is that we got, I think something in the neighborhood of like 120 applications within 24 hours, which is absolutely bonkers, because right now in the metaverse gaming space, finding developers is one of the hardest things. It's incredibly hard, because demand for developers React and Unreal Engine has gone up by, hundreds and hundreds of percentages of every year for the last 3 years. And after the Meta announcement, it's gone up even more. But apparently a lot of developers want to work on our project, which is super cool. So we managed to fill all the developer job openings within 24 hours, which is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. However, even though I know that Jorrit, our CTO, and me are not really looking for developers to hire today, I can guarantee you that as we grow, we will have more demand. So if you're interested in working in a metaverse company, if you love what we're doing, if you're interested in building the future of mankind when it comes to blockchain, virtual reality, augmented reality, if you have any experience with Unreal Engine, if you know about React, or if you're great at video editing, make sure that you get in touch with us. Send us a message, get on our Discord, get on our Telegram, make sure that we see you. Send us, something cool, something awesome, because I am totally looking for people that are intrinsically motivated to build the future of mankind and the metaverse. Cool. I think that's it. Oh yeah, for you creators out there that are already working in Unreal Engine, I'm really looking to start up another competition campaign for Unreal Engine developers out there to build the coolest meta experience. And for the winners, they will probably get early access to the platform. So no promises. I'm working on that. Hopefully I will launch that somewhere in the next month or so. The team didn't allow me to tell you this, so I did it anyway. I'm the chief marketing officer. I can do that. So if you're not already, make sure that you start working in Unreal Engine, start building something incredible, because then we will have a look at that soon. You can compete in our competition, and hopefully you will be one of the artists that will have early access to the platform, be able to launch your very own meta space on your open metaverse. Cool, that's it for today. I only went 3 minutes over the hour, so that's that's not too much overtime. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I see that Alex, Legacy Alex, came back to the microphone in case you guys have any questions left, but I think we answered a lot of questions already. If you have more questions, make sure to come to our AMA next week or ask them in our Telegram chat. That's it for now. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow if you're watching this later after the live episode. That's it for this week. Thank you so much. See you guys next week.
I got a really good feeling about this.